The relationship, you see, was up to my folks. It was up to my grandparents. It wasn't up to me. There really wasn't much I could do about it. I do remember being 5 or 6 and telling my father that I hated him. You know, you do that when you're 5 or 6 and you don't get your way. And I remember my dad looking down at me and going, well, that's nice. You know, I still love you. Really? Aren't I in charge? Now, if you meet my folks after the evening tonight, if you see all the gray hair, that came when I wanted to test to see if there was actually a limit. Now, I don't want you to understand that Mom and Dad loved everything I did or okayed it. I certainly knew there were boundaries, but there wasn't one on their love for me. Now I'm 56 years old, and guess what? My folks are still in charge of that relationship. Our relationship has changed, to be sure. They're still folks, and I'm still the son. What I came to know as I lived and worked at Luther Seminary is that salvation is just flat a gift. That there isn't this little tiny spark in us that Thomas Aquinas talks about that needs to be inflamed and enlivened so that it might come to fruition and burst into a raging bonfire. There isn't any part of us, I've come to understand, that can reach up just the barest nudge, as Dr. Warren Quanbeck would have us think. No, it's just a gift. What finally got me to that place was the question that Ferdy would never let us let go of. If you're participating, if you're somehow responsible for your salvation, then what's Jesus doing up on that cross? If his work there is not sufficient, then why did he have to go? So for me, I enter this debate that we're in from that place. This is not about a debate about our salvation. This issue about what we did in August, about what we're debating right now, is not about our salvation. We didn't earn it. We didn't deserve it. And I think the only way that we can get rid of it is to say no to Jesus. I don't want it. So when we start tonight, you need to know that's where I'm starting from. Because if we do participate in our salvation, then it becomes really important how we enter this conversation. But I wanted you to know, as a Lutheran community, where I'm coming from and where I think the central teaching of the Lutheran Church is. Because it wasn't just Dr. Ferdy's opinion, it was Martin Luther's opinion. And I think it's Jesus' opinion, because he was the one that was willing to go to the cross for you and I while we were yet sinners. Now, as I told you at the beginning, I've been your bishop for 2 years and, well, almost 4 months. And the last 5 months have been difficult. I don't know that there have been any parish pastors in this synod that have had a lot of fun. I've talked to at least 100 council presidents. They should all be getting paid this year, I'm telling you. Serving on church council hasn't been a lot of fun in many of our congregations. And I know that sin has been alive and well. We've been very adept at breaking the 8th commandment, completely ignoring Matthew 18, as if Jesus hadn't said those words about how we ought to live together when we have discord. And that's been true for you, and it's been true for me. So in this service tonight, I want to share a second gift. Not just the good news of Jesus Christ, of his work on the cross, but another gift. It doesn't come from me and it doesn't come from your pastor, but it does come from Jesus again. and that's the gift of forgiveness. Because through that gift, I do believe that relationships that have been damaged and broken, congregations that have been ruptured, synods that have been frayed, can be healed. I've watched forgiveness work all my life long, and I know it to be true.